everyone. Welcome once again. It is a pleasure as always. It is Wednesday, and of course, it's Kaiso Talk Night. Yes, indeed. We've been doing that. Chatting with the Kaisonians, you hear their stories, the experiences, the vibes, all of that, and it's getting better and better. Because I tell you, tonight we have two very special guests with us. Of course, Val is here. Val is not a guest. Val is my sidekick, so to speak. But we have two very special guests, two legends, two icons, and I can continue to go on. And of course, in a little while, we'll be chatting with them. But of course, it's a pleasure to have you, and we welcome our viewers on GBN Television 711, our friends on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also our listeners on K105 FM. We're also very thankful to our sponsor, the Grenville Credit Union. We thank them so very much for associating with the program, and it is very, very important because, our art form. And despite all the talk you hear about Kaiso this and Kaiso that, don't bother with that. Kaiso is here to stay. All right, that's why we are talking Kaiso. So I'll tell you what, it's a good time to invite our guest, and let me start with Val. We're gonna leave the guest for last. So Val, good evening, man. How are you doing?
Good evening, Godfrey. Good evening, Grenada. Good evening to the whole of the Windwards and wherever this program is being heard. It's great to be here once again to have another Kaiso Talk.
Yes, indeed. It's a pleasure to have you on as well. And of course, one of our very special guests. Last week we were supposed to do this, but we were having a lot of tech issues, and so we had to sort of call it off. We're on this evening, and it's my pleasure to welcome the man himself, the madman, the crazy man, Mr. Edwin Young. Crazy, how you doing? Welcome to K105 FM, GBN TV, you name it. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, this Grenville's Credit Union, this one where Grenada?
Yes, of course.
Oh, well, I didn't even know it's Grenada. I'm Grenada, because Grenada is one of my favorite places,
I know that.
Me and Iron Bishop was very good person. Me and Iron Bishop, also Gary.
Mm-hmm.
I climbed up a statue in Grenada in 1979.
Mm.
And I mean, Gary back in there, man. Gary say he liked the song, So Grenada is one of my favorite places, I jam with my boy.
Well, of course.
Friends in Grenada.
Of course.
Not only Ajamu, the fellow who win the 100 and the world champion. What is his name?
Kirani?
Yeah, the big champion, the fellow who beaten people like Brian Lara. Yeah, Grenada is my favorite place. And that Kaiso was playing there just now.
Mm.
Right? I want the people to hear something new that one talking there, I will be making a voice. In time to come, mankind will build cities out of snow and ice. In time to come, President Trump will have a transgender wife. In time to come, Elon Musk going to reach up for the stars. In time to come, very soon people will be living on Mars. Robots will be programmed to fight wars, having babies just like mine and yours. Human body parts will be on sale. Government will develop from jail. Machines invented and humans will live as one. Cars will be driving through tunnels underground in time to come. I just think that.
Let me tell you, I go add a verse too crazy, but not just two lines there. In time to come, crazy go put an end to that Kaiso. in time to come. In time to come.
That Kaiso have 27 verses.
I know. That's what I tell you.
It's the longest Kaiso of all time.
That's what I tell you. In time to come.
When I go to Jamaica, this is the moment to stop. You know what Rasta tell me in Jamaica? Bob never sing that kind of thing yet.
Yeah.
Making prediction one day. Yeah. The great Bob Marley and my legend.
Yes.
Bob never sing that kind of thing yet. Right?
Indeed.
The nice to be on the program here, and Val is my boy.
Indeed. Well, folks, we're supposed to be joined by Brother Valentino. He should be joining us pretty soon. So we're standing by for...
He's from Grenada too.
Uh-huh. Definitely.
That's
But
champion, man.
yeah, but crazy. Let's face it, and I've always tell Val and them, we have more Grenadians in Trinidad than in Grenada. So everybody in Trinidad have some kind of Grenadian background.
I think so. I just tell people me I have Grenadian roots in me. Grenadian people don't die so. So people dropping down all the time. Every minute somebody dying. No Grenadians every 5 years a Grenadian will die.
Every 5 years.
I big up Grenada, man. And you know what I like Grenada for? Grenada people have good teeth in the mouth. What advantage? You know, the fellas, a lot of fellas all over the place. Grenada people have good teeth in the mouth. The teeth white and what? You too, you have good teeth in the mouth. Some fellas teeth like piano.
The only problem, we don't bite nobody. We don't. But crazy.
My family right now mad with me, I hear. My family right now mad because I talk. They find that I talk too much stupidness.
No, I don't
You
think.
can go on interviews, you just talk too much nonsense.
No,
People like me to come and talk with people on the like these kind of things now. But I say to hell is with them. I just come in and do my crazy thing.
but that's the point. That's the point. I mean, if they understand that, nobody would have a problem. But a couple of years, let me tell you, crazy. In 2008, me and you spoke in Trinidad, and you told me you changed your name. You tell me you changed your name from Edwin Young to Edwin Was Young.
I'm not thinking about changing my name because I sing in Kaiso 60 years now. And everybody telling me crazy. Why don't stop singing and kind of double anta song and go to Christ? So I was thinking about changing my name from crazy to Christly. You know?
All right. But anyway, let's backtrack a bit. Let's backtrack, crazy. Tell us, first of all, who is crazy and how did this thing get started?
You think? Well, I sing in Calypso long time now. I sing in Calypso and he did a spoiler. Favorite Calypsonian here in Trinidad was a fellow named Spoiler. That's in the 1950 something, you know. I used to sing all his songs, and then after Spoiler, like Blakey, right? Blakey was there before Sparrow, right? Blakey was there a year before Sparrow, and after Blakey, then Sparrow came, and I used to learn all their songs in school. I used to go primary schools. But when I start singing, I used to go by the beach with a quattro as a little young boy. And a lot of people used to come around me to listen to me singing Spoiler and Blakey and Calypso's humorous songs. And people used to tell me, crazy, why you don't go and start singing Calypso? I say, me, for Sparrow to laugh at me, you know? And it so happened that one day a fella who wrote a Calypso for me, a fella by the name of Height. Two fellas, Calypso Height and Doran Hector. See, boy, have a Calypso. In those days now, it didn't have no Viagra. That's a thing they call Chinaman. Chinaman is a thing you drink, you know. The Viagra is a tablet, but Chinaman was a liquid. When you take that now, you know, you just have women like the Archbishop Pantin, you know. I don't know if you understand what that means. You understand that?
Yes, crazy. Yes, crazy. I understand it very. I understand it very much. Very, very, very much indeed.
We were looking for a name. We were looking for a name for me. The first name I tried was Wong Ping, because in those days I used to look like China. The Vietnam War was still going on, you know. So I called myself, well, after that, said, no, that name ain't good. That sounds stupid. Then I went to Arawak because I look like these Arawak people. Then after I went to Inspector Grenada there. He comes lately. I had that name years ago. A fella said, you don't look like no Inspector boy. You know, so after the road came the craze. My name started, I said I want to be the latest craze, and then my name was Craze first. But the woman who typed out my name to put on a flyer with Sparrow, she misprint 2 E's at the end. You know, and then everybody started saying, who is it crazy? I tell them, no, it's crazy, not crazy. But the name stick on me.
Okay.
And all that time I was saying, you know what then? I say, look, people only want to hear Kitchen and Sparrow, so I go in the madhouse here. We have a madhouse here named St. Anne's Hospital for mentally ill people now. So I went there to make people feel that I'm really crazy. And that's core. It's core. Because people feel I started doing crazy things like climbing up on statues. You know? And when I climb up on Salvatore building, in our pajamas, and people feel I was right. And after now, people feel like they're crazy. Yeah?
All right. Crazy, we okay, great. So I was just telling you about your angle because we weren't seeing you very clear. So All right. Yes. Exactly. So try and don't move around too much because people need to see you. All right. No. You need to. Okay. So drop your camera down a little bit. Right. Perfect. Keep that there. Excellent. Right. So tell us when you started with your craze and all of that, can you remember some of the songs that you started with?
Yeah, the same song, if you go on, you will see it 1972. A fella from Grenada to record me, the first man, a fella by the name of Stricker. Granville Stricker is a record Calypsonians. You know, and in 1972, he heard my voice singing the same song, Chinaman. I am the man, that is called Chinaman. And he find me and the next Calypsonian named Baron, both of us started off the same time. You know, he heard my voice and he find I was singing a song like Baron. And he said, I have to record you, and he recorded me. So you see how many Grenada is a whole part of my life?
Right.
First man recorded me is a Grenadian by the name of Granville Stricker. He recorded Shadow too, an ex-Calypsonian here in Trinidad named Shadow. He recorded Shadow too in 1974. And we win road match. Yeah.
Right.
Long list Stricker, man. Stricker is my boy.
Okay, Val, I need to bring you in here because you probably know a lot more about Crazy more than me. So you can jump in here.
Well, the first thing I wanted to do is that last week was the 19th of March, and Crazy turned 81. So on this program, Kaiso Talk, we want to formally wish Crazy a happy birthday.
Indeed.
It's great that he is in such fine fettle and still going strong at 81. And I know he is looking out for that 19 more. So that based on his gym activity and all of that, we almost certain that he can get there.
Right.
So,
well,
Edwin, belated happy birthday.
Yes, indeed.
On this program. Yeah?
Yes.
I go for, you see, like the oldest Calypsonian here was Skipper. Skipper make 95, eh? Nelson right now going behind him. Nelson is 94. Skipper died at 95. He's the oldest living Calypsonian. So I tried to beat that. I hear the only outliving people. I outliving them. Every day I hear somebody who I know died. So I go in the gym. I just go in the gym. My name is Ayong, right? If I make 100 in Trinidad, it's every whole day. If I go on there just now, that Joker, your name is Ayong, and you go there because I see men like George Foreman, men like Elon Musk, not Elon Musk, billionaires, Michael Jackson, all of them. They're supposed to be living longer than me, and I outliving them, and I only have $500 in the bank. Yeah, it's a good thing to be broken. When they're just now.
So when you're broken, you live longer.
Edwin, tell us about Dustbin Cover. Chief Crazy Horse. Those very early
ones. Yeah.
Dustbin Cover. Dustbin Cover was I run second to Rose. Rose won the crown. I was saying Dustbin Cover is about the birth of the steel band. When we started with beating a Dustbin Cover, never see things. So since I'm born, this thing happens go on. After jumping up in a band, I think it among 45 years ago. So I mean, I don't remember all the words, but
I know that's something 78 or something like that.
Yeah.
That song, I got the idea from a fellow named Gary Daw. He was my manager at the time.
Right.
He managed me for 2 years, 78 and 79.
Right.
I went 79, went to 1980, we should tell me to sing. And I was top seller.
Yeah.
I was going top, so I had big song. I had song like Crazy, Sweeter Than a Ripe Mango. And I teacher know why I just stopped singing because people will miss me. And I say, what? So after that, we break up, and I was doing my own. After now, I was managing myself. After now, I'm managing myself. Yeah.
Crazy, you said he placed second in the competition.
Yes, yeah. To Rose, yes, yeah.
Rose was the first woman to win the crown, and I ran second to her.
And
Terra ran third.
Terra was third, and he was very annoyed very annoyed that you sang in a pajama, and
Yeah,
Terrell
well, and
with
yeah,
with his sartorial elegance, he was very annoyed that you should be ahead of him wearing a
yeah,
pajama.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
You see,
You know.
in those days, Calypsonians used to have suit, dress up nice in a suit,
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
and then they had muff and they said, comb their hair well and stand up and sing. But when he saw me come out of that dustbin, he said, this Calypso shouldn't be like this. I came out of a dustbin because I was a big fan of Oscar from Sesame Street, right?
All right.
mm,
And when he used to come out of a dustbin, and when I came out of this dustbin in the March Graph, it was something new to people because they never see that in Calypso yet.
Right.
When I came out of this dustbin, bareback, I was bareback in a pajamas because I was trying to push the image of a madman from St. Anne's Hospital, a mental madman. But really, I am not really a madman. I might be mad and shooting. That's why my family just tell me, do not come on shows like this. Because people will laugh at me and find that talking too much stupidness. You know?
mm.
No,
People are so pissed off.
that's
If people are
Kaiso
so
talk.
pissed off
Mhm.
with me. Eh?
No, that's Kaiso talk.
Right.
Well, all
So,
right. Well, I will call it that now. I'm glad you tell me so. I will tell him so. I
right.
will tell him so. Good idea, boy. Guys,
Yeah.
Calypso
So,
talk. People is fine. No, not only he. A lot of other people, they say, boy, we don't go on them shows, boy. We talk too much as cheap with this.
Right. So crazy.
Trevor
Mm-hmm.
was pretty annoyed, and you were second, but
Because something new was happening. Anytime something new happening, look like
yeah.
the Parang Soca, right? When I sing the first Parang Soca in 78, people laugh at me. They say, what's stupid this you're doing? Parang is only in Spanish. But I tell them, I
Mm,
say, look, we don't talk Spanish here. A band come from Venezuela, cussing we. De a mí me llame en el grito del bate y pues trabajando los indios and you and like that. All them Parang Soca singers who sing and they don't know what they're saying. If you ask them what they're saying, no, they don't know what they're saying. So I say, let us put English there. So if they cussing we go know. Right? When the band say, me make yame, that is all your nigga, no, all your puli, no effing good. I mean, are people dancing like you said that? Men like you, black men like me, dancing like hell and the cussing me. I say, oh, yeah, let me sing in English. If they cussing, we go know. And that's how
mhm,
the Parang Soca was born.
yeah.
Mm.
But
So there's something new. I tell you new things. When I was singing Nani Wine, that's the biggest chutney soca of all time. Nani Wine dong. So people say, what stupid is you singing? And people gone crazy behind it. It's the biggest chutney soca of all time. Just like hot, hot, hot.
mm,
Right? Arrow, hot, hot, hot. It have any bigger soca than that? I am dying to see Marshall Montano, the king of soca. I am dying to see him with a white audience. And I'm dying to see him with the biggest soca. He's the king of soca for me, But that is what I want to see. I tell him that. Say, Marshall, I want to see a white audience like, Burna Boy. Baby, calm down. Them singing bareback. African people singing bareback with a whole 20,000 white people singing the song too. They don't have to sing again. People singing the song and they just sign up, showing up their body. And they have good body and they have six pack and thing, right? They just sign up there by people singing, I want to see soca get so.
Right.
yeah.
But crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Crazy.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
you raised the thing about you went there early. We probably didn't want to go there yet, but you raised the Parang Soca,
Mm-hmm.
and that whole trend in terms of Spanglish, that mixture of Spanish and
And,
English.
Yes.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, El Poquito. This place has too much mosquito, right?
Yeah.
So
El Poquito is
walk
small,
us through that.
it's
Who,
something
who,
small.
who, who created the lyric for the song? You did it in
Yeah.
combination with
No,
somebody, or?
well, he died some years ago. He was not a singer. He came
Mm,
up, his name is Clibot Yewood. He came up with the idea. He wrote down some words on a piece of paper. He wrote down, I took the role of lead singer. He had very good ideas in writing. He wasn't no singer or nothing about melodies and things.
right.
And he wrote down this. We didn't have nothing, a breaking nothing on starting no parents, starting no new genre and thing. He just wrote down this piece of words. He was my friend. He was one of my best friends. And I took my quattro and I put a melody to it. I took the role of lead singer. If you look on the recording, you will see his name there too. Edwin Ayong and Clibot Yewood, right? And he Clibot Yewood was his name. But he died about 30 years ago. Oh, I'm missing you, my welcome. And I wrote down those words and I put a melody to it. And then, you know who did the music? A fellow from St. Vincent did it. A fellow by the name of Frankie McIntosh.
Frankie McIntyre,
Yeah,
yeah.
He did the
okay.
music to that. That's why Vincentians, they say that this started, Vincentians, they say that this started the Paransoca music in Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
But Frankie McIntosh was part. He was part of the, but because in St. Vincent, they don't have any parent groups there. Trinidad, this is how we just, every Christmas, we have a set of parent groups. People live for that here in Trinidad. But Frankie McIntosh was part of it, and Cleveland here would.
Mm-hmm.
But the main
song,
man is sitting with me. Yeah.
right, that song, so that when Cleveland gave you those lines, the rest of the lines, who wrote them? You did, or in combination?
Yeah, well, I played a part with some of the lines. You see, my mother is from Venezuela, right?
All right.
My mother Rosalia Alcala. She died in 1966.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this Spanish thing in me because she came here in 1920. You know, and the fellow who was in charge of Venezuela was Simon Bolivar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Simon Bolivar was getting on just like how Maduro getting on now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't make a song on that, but I didn't release it yet. You know, yeah, but that part with the little Spanish parts. When I say El Poquito is something small. Poquito is means small in Spanish. So what you know smaller than a mosquito. So when I say poquito, you know, I say one word could rhyme with that. So when I look at poquito, then I say mosquito. You say something humorous to make people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know? Because in those days I used to sing a lot of humor. My thing is, so that's how that come in there. And then I put in Indian like parata. Uno ram, uno parata. Parata is I was thinking about the Indians. Let us involve Indian in the parata, you know. So it's a whole creative thing. And when I came here, during those days, it was a little 45. And I had it another 45 with a big hole in it. And I tried to have radio station here, thing, and people are fling it like a flying saucer. See, what stupidness is in here? You say, this music has to be in Spanish. It's either in Spanish or Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, Johnny Mathis, Perry Como. These fellows rule the airwaves. Yeah, and then the Spanish singers who don't know what they're saying, there's a rule to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that certainly is a breakthrough song, you know.
Yeah,
It definitely was. Definitely was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But here what's happening?
Breakthrough song.
After Miami Carnival, right? That's in October. No artist was there. They had nothing to do. October, November, December, January. See those 3 months? Mm-hmm. The artists, fellas, belly used to get big. They start getting fat because I have nothing to do. And the Paransoca fill that void. Look at Scrunter, Baron, and them fellas. Them fellas build houses of Paransoca. Scrunter build the forest up there. Because they are popular fellas in the genre, and that genre will never die because it must have Christmas.
Right.
But my thing with the Paransoca is I never say no smutty thing in that. I always keep it with Jesus, family, manger, you know, that kind of thing. I put Jesus in your Christmas this year. I sing those type of songs. Mm-hmm. It have fellas like Kenny G and them. Well, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Kenny was the boy. He had a little double lantern. Well, it's okay. That's okay. People like that too. But I am a crazy for Jesus man. Mm-hmm. When they talk about Paransoca.
Edwin, there's a period where a lot of people referred to you as Uncle Crazy. I think you had a song.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Crazy.
In 1982 that started.
82, right.
Them children like, after now, I go in school. This is my 7th generation, right? Mm-hmm. And children just call me out in the road. Very few Calypsonians like that. I just go to schools, I just go in the Blind Institute, I just go in the Royal Jail, I have videos and all that. I just go in all the institutions.
Right.
I'm trying to teach Calypsonians, you know, because I am the only active 80s. I am I will have to say the youngest 80-something-year-old Calypsonian. I'm 81 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
and girl, children, youth, something calling me out because I did sing young people music. You hear my song this year? You hear my young people song? Yeah?
Yes.
They say when you're doing anything, you got to put your best. Just go in YouTube and type in celebrate life. No 81-year-old man can't do that. They say when you're doing anything, you got to put your best foot first. And they say that your very first impression, that's the one would last. But it's long time we doing this, and we not new in the game. Why I cannot tame? And when we come to party, come to fed, on the road, on the street, we doing it. Well, everybody come jump up for your life. No 81-year-old man can't do that. You know anything? Maybe Super Blue, you know? But Super Blue is only 69. Next year he will be vexed. Super Blue will be damn vexed. You know why? He live in 69. He will be 70. You know why 69?
Crazy, I wanna.
No, just before 68 to 69. We don't want to mislead nobody into thinking wrong, you know?
Right. Crazy, I want us to go back a bit. Let's backtrack. Let's rewind a bit. And through the years, so the first big one that's been covered at that land you second place in the martial competition. And through the years, just take us through the years, how it was for you in the Kaiso, because you are still very fresh in the Kaiso at that time, but you've maintained it, you've continued. Take us through the years. How it was for you, composing your calypsos, performing, competition, all of that, and take us through the years and share with us how it was and what Kaiso has done for Crazy.
In 1980, I was very popular too. I went for like about 5 straight years, every year. I had a song named, well, same In Time to Come. They put me almost last. When I sang In Time to Come, the judges and them, because they didn't like when I said that a black man would be the president of the United States in 2000, because Obama came in 2009. So when I said In Time to Come, America will have a black president, people was choops and things, because they didn't know that might happen. They don't know that would happen. And the judges put me last, low down, because they thought that I think it's stupidness for a black man. The hell, no black man ain't going no America thing. And Obama came here, they wouldn't even got gypped. Instead of make men meet him. So Obama, this man has sing what you hear before it happened. The only calypso with that in it. You ever hear that line? In Time to Come, America will have a black president. You ever hear that line?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, well, people find that line was nonsense at that time. And I said, people say Crazy, they rob you after. People say Crazy, they rob you. They rob you. They should have put you to the win. Shadow win there. So something about horn in, go on, this was it.
No, you didn't win with horn.
You work closely with the Veens. You work closely with any other writer over the years?
Yeah, man. Well, people, let me tell you, in those days, was making an album, right? I make an album with 12 songs on it. So sometimes composers used to call me. I am a composer's dream then. And up to now, I am a composer's dream. There are fellas who could write very good songs, but they need a singer for that song, right? How would you, if in those days, if you're looking for a man to sing, like right now we're doing a song for a fella, up in the islands here. You're singing a song like, they're looking for religious people, right? They want people want me to join the religion. Man want me to come and join Sango Baptist, they want me to join Methodist. I tell them, no, I want a Catholic, So when you're looking for a man to sing that kind of song, I want a Catholic, I want a really a Catholic, But the way with song like Call Your Mother Come, When you're looking for those type of songs, or you're looking for King Crazy, if you're looking for King Crazy, I tell them don't look for me, because they're gonna be looking for King Crazy for me then, So the people, composers be writing them kind of song and calling me, say Crazy Boy. So I'm making a 12-song album. I would take one like Merchant. I deal with Merchant too. Merchant say Crazy, I have 2 songs ready to put on the album. And he wrote The Party Now Start. You know that song? The Party Now Start.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He wrote that for Ronnie McIntosh. But Ronnie McIntosh at that time was popular. And Jazzy Pantin, who is the tent manager, he was kitchener manager. He carried that song to Jazzy Pantin and said, Ronnie McIntosh don't want it. So Jazzy Pantin tell Merchant give Crazy that, say Crazy had the voice for that. And about 27 bands did it in Pano. It was very popular.
Mm-hmm.
So I deal with Merchant, I deal with Devines. What Devines used to do with me is Devines used to write, type out the words and send it for me and I'll put the melodies. I used to do his melodies, See, like how the song should go. We did songs for Pillars of the Islands. We did God is Love, God is Love, God is Love. We do all of that. So I used to do all his melodies.
Right.
But he was the lyricist. He used to write words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why there's too. If you have a poetry or write words, right? I will take it and edit it and make a song out of it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Crazy, you mentioned a couple of songs there, but over the years following your Kaisos, you have a way with the double entendre, and there's loads and loads of them. How do you come up with the ideas? Do you sit and think them out, or you?
Right. For instance, like this year, right? You know what's the most popular calypso this year in Trinidad with the Carnival? You know what you will say, and I have evidence to show you.
The most popular
was a song by Crazy. It get 300,000 hit without getting airplay in Trinidad. Yeah, and you know a Trinidad girl named Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Marshall Montano was singing in a fete and he mentioned Nicki Minaj. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, see, I followed the story. Yeah,
that was a big news and thing with Mr. Killer and Nicki Minaj get upset, and I sing a song about that. The name I telling Marshall, because Marshall was going for the crown because he won the crown last year, and Marshall was going for the crown this year. Yeah. So I asked him, I went in Stink and Dirty for that, and I was asking Marshall, I said, Marshall, boy, what song you have for this year, boy? See, but you can't beat me, I'm in control, I'm in charge. And Meg says to hell with Nicki Minaj. I say, what? So I went to him. Say he going for the, I say, Marshall, don't go for crown with that. Tell him don't go for the crown now.
Mm-hmm.
The fella then say they can't play it on the radio. But Nicki Minaj love it. She tell Killer, he said that is how they cussing in Trinidad now. Don't go for crown with that. I said, no, that is don't go for the crown with that song to hell with Nicki Minaj. So but I had it before, the song that I did before with Alos, but I don't sing that again. Because Alos got vexed with me and I had to apologize to him. And I say, with a big line in New York City, everybody was having fun. When my good partner Alos tell me that this year he go win the crown, he went 2 crowns already, and he going for the total store. When I asked him, what is the topic? He said, Crazy, Rowley must go. I tell him, don't go for a crown with that. Because he was going for the crown with that. Mm-hmm. And people would have pelted him off the stage. So I tell him, don't go for, I got a friend now. I said, don't go for a crown with that, for the crown now.
So,
Crazy, over the years, you seem to have a great likeness for these risky songs, smutty little things, Now at 81, do you think it's time to pull back, not sing such songs again? What do you think? Do you think that
next year I could still sing them kind of songs because it always have ideas, that like for Carnival. You know that one? I play in Mass every year for the Carnival. I can win nothing for the festival. Can I win nothing this year? I play Jamalassi, Fancy Sailor and Bat. But like them judges don't care about that. The amount of money I did spend every year. Right now, I should have been a multi-millionaire. I telling myself that all this nonsense must stop. I ain't playing again because I'm fed up. I stay home all day for Carnival. That's the name of the song, eh? Mm-hmm. I have no match to play for Carnival. I stay home and watch TV. Nobody ain't go see me for Carnival. No, that is the name of the song. FORCRINAL, like for Carnival.
But, so let me ask you, Crazy. I mean,
I'm quite in context.
Let me ask you.
What's at it with your mind? Is
Yeah.
your mind?
But let me ask you this. Do you think, because you mentioned earlier that one of the most popular songs for this year did not get any airplay. Do you think it's because of the nature of these songs, or how these songs are written? Maybe people feel it's not appropriate for the airwaves?
Nah, man, that's humor, that's Calypso. That's Calypso. Look, Paul, your mother come. They was playing that all in New York on the radio. People look at it as humor. Paul, your mother come means your mother come from America. You know? But the way of Paul, your mother come, people are saying something else. That is who made that song popular in Trinidad? Archbishop Quantin. You know? I know he's in heaven right now, but he said because when it was playing on the radio, he was hearing something else. And you know who made Shock Me Sukoya popular? Pope Paul. Pope Paul was here in 1985. And the police band was jamming it, no singing. Papa, that, and they had him tapping his foot on TV. A man said, look, Pope Paul tapping his foot to Shock Me Sukoya. You know, but the poor Pope, he know it's Shock Me Sukoya. Because the police band was playing. So that was a big part. Whenever people ask me that on interviews, I would say that one of the biggest thing ever happened to me. I had the Pope tapping his foot to Shock Me Sukoya.
Right. So Crazy, let's talk about the art form. There's a very popular saying that we all know Kaiso does not attract the kind of crowds it used to. What's your feel on that? Do you think, or what do you think is responsible for that?
For what? For what again?
For Calypso not being able to pull the crowd that it used to. So, for example, you go to the March Gras, you don't see the kind of crowds you would see.
Remember what? Let me say 30 or 40 years ago when Black Stallion there. As soon as Carnival finished, right? The Calypso monarch, like his Stallion went away, right? We used to be hitting all like now we outside here, we Grenadiers, we St. Vincent, and we working because our topics here, we sing about only local things now. We singing only about the government or whether. We don't sing nothing for the outer market. And then soca take over. You know the soca thing with their Marshall Montano and they're playing on the radio. So the people go into that. But still have some of the young people who remain in Calypso. You know? But that want a revival. We want a revival. We need something like how Spectacular had something going. And we had who again? Well, the Kitchener, which is Kitchener Jazzy Pantin. He was one of the greatest managers about that. And then we had Mr. Sil Taylor. We need good management. We need good management and people who pick in Calypsonians with the tent. One of the tents that is doing well, okay, I will say well, is Kaiso House. Kaiso House. We need management. That is what have the Calypso in that stage. Yeah,
so you think so you think the management of the tents is lacking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what about
is not good.
Right? What about
some people blaming Tuco? You ever heard about Tuco?
Mm-hmm.
Some people blaming them. You know.
But do you think the compositions? Let me ask you: do you think the compositions or the kind of calypsos that are written now has a part to play? Because before you got a lot of humor in Kaiso. Now and now
Calypso again.
Mm-hmm.
That song I sing there, don't go for wrong with that. Not go for wrong with that. Yeah, that is about the biggest humor this year. But every other Calypso is about groovy soca, like what Kes is saying or one young brother singing. But I think the biggest humor this year was don't go for wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Do you hear anything else? Do you hear any humor?
Yeah, not much, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next year I might get them a next one, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How about what's your take on the competition?
Yeah, well, I mean, it must have competition, Calypso competition. I find this boy was, if you had some nice cook, what's his name again? You see the true toilet paper behind him, but it was still so. Kurt Allen is very good.
Kurt Allen, yeah, okay.
The boy Helen Francis is very good too. He have his own style. I like his style. It relax and, you know. Helen Francis is good. Well, Karen Ashe, she could put over Calypso. Chucky is also good. But they're talking for the outside market. When people in Grenada, when people in Antigua want to hear Calypso, they don't carry our young fellas outside again. They still asking me and Baron. People still want to hear me sing intentional outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's a timeless Calypso.
Crazy. There was a time where...
So our Calypsonians, maybe it might catch back up, you know. Maybe it might build back up, you know. Because remember, we have no more Stalin, we have no more Duke, we have no more Shadow. So it's a whole new batch coming up, you know. And Soca take over.
Crazy,
and then Soca had no message.
Yeah. Crazy, you had some years where you were very close to winning, let's say, road match. You won a road match already. But I remember
Is 11 times around second?
Right. You were, I remember, you were by the Savannah. You felt that maybe the mafia was
Nanny Wine. That's a Nanny Wine.
Winning. Yes. You know?
Nanny Wine was supposed to win road match, I think. It was the biggest soca, and the mafia was paying people and paying banks to play. As soon as they crossed the stage, they got back to crazy zone.
Right. So you certainly believe that there is or that there was or still is a mafia?
Well, what happened is around Carnival time now it is a business. The business is fets. Fets join the crowd, right? And with that business where they're going on, the DJs who play the music on the radio, right? They only play certain songs. Like they have like 5,000 songs, right? But they only pick like after the 5,000, they pick like 10 songs. But that's like the people who singing in fets. It's like Marshall Montana have a fet, Kess have a fet, Voice have a fet. The radio station just based on the fellas who singing there now, you know, who's singing in the fets there to play their music. It's a business thing. It become a business thing. You know,
so you think that you think that
there's no mafia, it's just that it's a business. And
so you think that is also affecting the Kaiso?
Yeah. Well, what people also saying is the whatever thing they call the Carnival Village in the Savannah. The government is have that and it's free, right? It's just by Kaiso House, right in the Savannah. So all the people go into that because the same Calypso that's singing the same Calypso that's singing there. So the people now pull it up there and nobody ain't going to the tents. So a lot of things need fixing.
And how do we fix it? What is needed to get it fixed?
Well, we need a fella like Chris Blackwell. See the fella who take over Bob Marley, and you know, we need a man to come in and pick out, you know, pick the right, get Baron together, Allos, get all the fellas, some of the fellas sing, and get a nice group, you know, a group of people who pick all what a year, and you have to spend some money too. You have to kind of buy out some of the radio stations, right? And we need that revival. Buy out the radio station. We need a money man. I was thinking, that's why I was buying the New York Lotto. I was buying Lotto in case I would do that, but I don't have the money to do that. But crazy, doesn't the government of Trinidad put a lot of monies into Kaiso? I mean, especially at Carnival time, through the association there. No, but Trinidad is the government. You know, the government now. You remember Calypso Monarch was $2 million. Remember?
That's 1 year.
That was just one, yeah.
1 year. 2011. 1 year.
You know what? The Kaiso Monarch was $2 million. Right now we're going on to 700,000. Because the Calypsonian is being used. Calypsonian can't sing against government again. You know? You know, they've Calypso long time with Stalin and them. When you make mistake and thing and you're singing about government and whoever. But now the Calypsonian have to sing for the government because the government they will throw toilet paper behind you and you know. But
crazy that's interesting because in one of your calypsos over the years you said that when Calypsonians sing against the government, that's when they get rewarded because the judges don't like the government. You remember that, Kaiso? They don't like the government?
I think that like one boy in 1994. They don't like the government. Some people didn't like it though. Some people didn't like it. I sing a song named Shoes. You ever heard that song? I was in the savannah too. Put many masks there. They work the plantation, he refused to do that. I sang that here. And some of the African people got mad with me. Yeah, because because I am an African, Chinese African. So I was telling the African people, oh, look for them Indian and then passing me out, boy. Let me do something about that. But they find I was beginning of the Indian too much. I run about 7 days.
How many can you yeah, can you recall Crazy how many times you've been to the Savannah, the final or the Calypso competition?
7 times. 7 times.
Seven times.
Santa Rose, I bet she won first woman. Yeah. Sing some big songs and they put me last time. Shoes, check out that one. Check out Shoes. Makanda Daga says he's one of the best Afro Calypso you ever heard. Yeah, I was telling African people how to live, how to move with a serious message. Just imagine the man who created Black Power here in Trinidad, telling people that it's a crazy thing, the greatest. Yeah, Afro thing about Indian and African. Yeah.
And you come almost last.
They put me almost here because maybe some of the judges thinking that this is stupid, have Chinese boy coming to tell you African people how to do. That's always what you tell you.
Okay.
Tell me something crazy about working with some of the. I know you worked for a number of years with Leston. Earlier on, you worked with Frankie Francis and others. How is that relationship? Working with those.
The first one, the first person with that, the Koto, when he gave me that hit with dustbin cover.
Dustbin cover.
No, sorry. No. Let me send me to Ed Watson was the first man. Ed Watson.
Oh.
That time I was singing with Sparrow Band, the original Young Brigade, and Ed Watson recorded that Chinaman for me with Granville Stricker. After Ed Watson, Adi Koto came, and Adi Koto do dustbin cover. Tiggy, Adi Koto. After that, well, Leston wasn't there as yet. Right? And after Leston Paul was Frankie McIntosh from St.
Don't go so
Vincent.
Fast.
And then
how it is,
the
difference between, let's say, working with Ed Watson as opposed to working with Art Koto. How different is that thing? You as a Calypsonian. You know, you go to Ed. What is the first thing Ed does?
Well, there's only one song. There's only one song. Or there's only one song I recorded with Ed Watson, like Chinaman.
All right.
And I do one song with dustbin cover with Adi Koto. And Adi Koto is a fella. Well, he a genius, eh? And both of them, same thing. I think that we go down, you give them a song, they write it down as scores, they call it the music. In those days, the recordings was different. In those days, the whole band had to come in the studio one time. So you did not know technology, you know. So in those days, you write all the scores, you give the one man come and blow the horns right there. Everybody doing the thing was called the studio in that time was where we recorded that song.
So it was live. It was live music.
Like 45 years ago.
You recorded that at Choral?
Yes, Choral. Yeah, Choral.
Right.
That's the studio. Down in Sealots. Right where young brother was born.
Right.
In Sealots. Yeah, it's
so I see we have the man Emerald Valentino with us. Emerald Philip.
Yeah.
Sorry about the delay.
No problem. Valley, good evening. It's such a it's a real pleasure. It's a real pleasure to have you.
Remember the days of Macanani crazy?
What do you mean? That's where we come from, boy. That boy, look at him there. That body, man, that boy, you long on top of him.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right.
You are marking any boy, yeah.
So let me tell you guys.
We pass through the ranks, you know.
Yeah. Let me tell you what.
I am that fella there, Emerald. And look, he's still alive. You see, Emerald, you really told me to endorse this. Yeah, what you do? I say, buddy, what you doing, boy? Yeah, what Bali say? Look him this, I like that. You say, boy, I come out to outlive people, and that's what you're doing right now, outliving people.
Right. So fellas, here what? We're gonna take a short break. When we come back, we're gonna bring in Valley to get a bit of his story. So stay with us. We're gonna be back in just a moment.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union introduces its new digital platform, managing your finances at any time from anywhere.
As a part-time student, balancing work and studies can be a real challenge. But with GCCU's digital app, these worries are no more. My parents can now remotely transfer funds to my account and I can check my balance at any time, giving me the freedom to achieve my goals.
My days can be long and tedious. With this app, I can ensure my loan is paid on time, transfer funds to someone else's account, and check my balances. I don't have to rush to do business during my lunch hour or after work anymore.
With this app, I can request checks to pay my suppliers, letters for my business transactions. I don't have to leave my farm to go stand in line.
The Grenville Credit Union digital platform. It's convenient and secure banking right at your fingertips. Download the app today from the Play Store or App Store or call 442-8602, 459-4325 or 416-8467 for further information.
In a world driven by digital innovation, our future is defined by connectivity and communication, shaping how we learn, work, and interact. But what safeguards our digital rights? The Electronic Communications or EC Bill will. The EC Bill ensures rights such as improved quality of service, data privacy and security, support for universal service and access, and complaint resolution are protected, with a tribunal to resolve disputes. This is consumer protection. The EC Bill also ensures a competitive environment for electronic communications companies to enter the market. There are many other benefits of the EC Bill. Ectel is paving the way for a fair, secure, and inclusive digital society for our contracting states.
Ectel and the NTRCs, digitally transforming our space together.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union introduces its new digital platform, managing your finances at any time from anywhere.
As a part-time student, balancing work and studies can be a real challenge. But with GCCU's digital app, these worries are no more. My parents can now remotely transfer funds to my account and I can check my balance at any time, giving me the freedom to achieve my goals.
My days can be long and tedious. With this app, I can ensure my loan is paid on time, transfer funds to someone else's account, and check my balances. I don't have to rush to do business during my lunch hour or after work anymore.
With this app, I can request checks to pay my suppliers, letters for my business transactions. I don't have to leave my farm to go stand in line.
The Grenville Credit Union digital platform. It's convenient and secure banking right at your fingertips. Download the app today from the Play Store or App Store or call 442-8602, 459-4325 or 416-8467 for further information.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Kaiso Talk. If you're just joining us, well, earlier we were chatting with the man Edwin Young Crazy. We've just been joined by the man from Cherry Hill in St. George, Mr. Emerald Phillip, one of my favorite Kaisonians. And you heard Crazy refer to him as the People's Kaisonian. Brother Valentino. Brother Valentino, good evening and welcome home.
Good evening and hi Grenada. Hoping to come home soon. Longing to see home.
Definitely. Way too long. How have you been doing? How are things?
Not too bad, but the old man going on in age. That's about it. And lose it. Well, when they go on in age, you lose some teeth.
Right. Well, let me tell you. Sparrow said age is just a number, so you have nothing to worry about.
Not all. Yeah, man. Thank God you're in good health.
Definitely. So Val is with me. We talking Kaiso. You've been fighting the fight for many years. Valley, how long have you been singing Kaiso? When did you get started? Tell us a little bit about Valley. Let's go back and let's talk a little bit about Brother Valentino.
Well, Brother Valentino has been at least attempting to sing Kaiso from 1961.
Mm-hmm.
That's how long. And I tent the big bamboo tent on Park Street. Skipper was the head of the tent, Prowler, inventor, creator, a good bit of these guys, Creole. But it was a tent that when you couldn't get in the big tent,
mm-hmm.
they always had, small tent for rooms of the little guys.
Right.
So I was very fortunate to get in one of the little boys' tent on Park Street.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where everything started.
Lovely.
But I want to tell you and tell Grenadians that my inspiration for singing Kaiso came from Bomber and Sparrow.
Mighty Bomber and Mighty Sparrow. Both Grenadians.
They were the ones that really inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a guy used to live on Cherry Hill by me. He had a fishing boat. They used to call him Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
That is the first Shadow in Kaiso that I know. His brother was Willie, and I only know the guy name by Shadow, but he was a Kaisonian because every time around Kaiso season, he and his brother used to walk around with the guitar and do the thing. And he was one of my inspirations too.
Right.
Because we were neighbors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So my whole inspiration for singing Kaiso came from the motherland.
Right.
The motherland.
Yes.
My grandmother.
Right. Yeah. Right. So you
mm-hmm. one question. So that you were inspired by Grenadians, Shadow, yes. Bomber,
yes.
Sparrow.
Yes.
At what age did you come to Trinidad?
I came to Trinidad around before, let me say, I was 5 years. But certain times when school gave holidays, I used to come back to Grenada.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I was always in touch back and forth.
Right, great.
I even went to school. I even went to school in Grenada. I spent about a year in Backstreet School. You know Backstreet School?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Morris, up there, Morris, the Bajan man who used to ride the motorbike. Wesley Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
So sometimes when I come to Grenada and spend time with my family, as a young guy, he used to send me to school.
Nice.
So I used to be backward and forward in Trinidad until a certain age where they decided to stay permanent.
Right. Okay.
But I was always in touch with the land of my birth.
Nice. And so once you settled in Trinidad, well, of course, when you were there, you already had that love for Kaiso. Once you settled and you finished school, what happened then? And I'm speaking here in terms of the Kaiso.
Well, I'll tell you this. School is something for me as far as my old man is concerned, and I feel if my old man was alive at the time that I really wanted to sing Kaiso, he might be against that because in them times, like some people, Kaiso is taboo.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we will go quick. As a matter of fact, I love Kaiso so much that in my school days in Trinidad, break time, the guys used to ask me to sing Kaiso, and the headmaster catch me singing Kaiso. And they put me to stand up on the bench for the whole of the evening session. The back of the bench, stand up. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And telling me, so you want to be a Kaisonian? All right, go and stand up in the back of the bench. That is how in my time when I really started to sing Kaiso.
Mm-hmm.
Some people used to look at Kaiso.
Right.
Yeah? So I mean, it came a long way, and I really have to admit that I came a long journey with it too.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You said you started in '61 at the Big Bamboo,
yes.
right? So I'm jumping. 70 came, and your songs for someone like me and that generation resonated the most. The most strident voice of the 70s was definitely Brother Valentino.
Yeah.
Take us through that. How did that happen? How did you just blossom into this grassroots poet of Calypso in the 70s?
Well, I heard Stalin's song of Kaiso on Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Remember that? 59.
No, in them times, to be a Kaiso and for people to say like Valentino and Stalin and this and that and this Kaiso, you have to be singing something kind of, smutty or something suggestive, because the people in my times, like they was not too interested in the message, because the message really didn't start to come about yet. Everything come with the time, eh?
Yeah.
Like the message started to come about in the late 60s from in America, say it loud and black and proud, and you know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing travel faster than song.
Yeah. Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yes. Yes.
So, so then that was a sort of a motivation. I said, well, look, these guys and them, Zandoli singing this, and I mean everybody singing, let me say smart. And I don't want to put myself there, because after I hear Stalin sing Martin Luther King and the response he gets, and it was a serious message, I say, yeah, boy, I'm not put your head there. If you have a talent and you really want to, you really want to make a contribution. You understand?
That's the way to go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make a valuable contribution. Don't put your hand on that. You be different. And up to now, I'm different to all you. If you guys notice, I'm very different to all the others, Attitude, we are thinking everything, And that is the attitude I developed towards my art form. And I tell myself, if God gave you a talent, boy, make sure you use that talent in the right way. And I decided, well, look, and let me tell you all something too. In 1971 was the real thing in Trinidad song, No Revolution. The other side of the record was a song named Boat Control.
Right.
And when I realized the response that Boat Control got, because let me say it was a kind of it's a twofold something. I say, nah, boy, if you had to get that kind of ovation, yes, you understand? Get it for something more valuable, more worthwhile.
Right.
All right. So you made a choice.
Right.
You made a choice.
Right.
You made a choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when with the late 60s and the 70s with that wind was blowing then. That wind had changed.
Yeah.
The end of the Federation, independence, movement, all of those things coalescing. The Black Power
movement. Yes.
Certainly a change in the politics happening.
Yes. And then I mean, like I'm not boasting, but I'm one of the only Kaisonians that really sang in a rally where police on either side of the riot start. They're very serious. But the show had to go on and the rally have to go on. And even Chokdes and some of them guys, they dare not stand up on that stage.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was the only one that took that chance. And I mean, like, everything have its price, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
But the price I paid was worthwhile because, I mean, like, it was a very valuable contribution and the people wanted a voice.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody couldn't talk for themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Valley, what you just what you just referred to there, with the police and so on, the riot. Where did that happen? I'm hearing this for the first time.
Well, let me tell you something. And Jack used to host some serious rallies in Trinidad.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they always want the artists or two to come on the stage, drummers and some, you know.
Right.
And I was the mouthpiece.
Right.
Okay.
But
So I mean, like, when NJAC protesting about certain things that going on in Trinidad, because I mean, Daga really protests for a lot of things, and we see it come to pass, although, you know, people will overlook it and say it's them thing. But I know if it wasn't for Daga, certain things wouldn't happen in Trinidad. Because even in my times, when you're going to a bank, you're not seeing no black people or no long-skinned people. There's people of a certain complexion used to work in banks.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You understand? So, I mean, that is just one of the examples and one of the fights, you know? That kind of prejudice, some kind of, you know? Among other things, among a lot of other issues.
Valentino, I just want to ask this question. Before the NJAC Black Traditions in Arts, which you're talking about, and going on that platform, let's say with probably the biggest funeral still in Trinidad, the Basil Davis affair.
Yeah.
Where were you, let's say, around that period? Were you part of that whole Basil Davis funeral kind of thing?
I was not in the funeral.
All right.
But I was aware of everything that happened.
Right.
I didn't take part in the march in the funeral.
Right.
But I was there of everything, and today that is the biggest funeral ever take place in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right.
Guy, hold on, guys. You
number of songs coming out of all of those things.
Hold on, Val. Hold a second, Val.
Song particularly that came out of, let's say, that gathering of people, how you saw it? Was there a song that came out of that? Or something like that?
You guys must look for the Roaring 70s.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Roaring 70s.
Yes, you know. And or like No Revolution, this song I sang in the Savannah in 1971. No Revolution, Roaring 70s, you know, and you get an idea what you know.
Right.
The whole thing is all about.
Right. Well, I was gonna ask, so I would definitely check it out because what you guys were talking about, you lost to me. Basil Davis, I've never heard that name before. So I was lost there for a moment.
Sorry, Godfrey. Sorry.
So I was thinking.
Biggest funeral in Trinidad and Tobago. Basil Davis was a young guy from San Juan.
From San Juan.
Who the police killed.
Yes.
It was during the I think 1970, 71, and a massive funeral, right?
From they used to blow up, you know, they used to just blow up, man, you know.
Right.
Funeral.
Yeah,
okay.
And that was the response.
Okay.
Public sympathy and what was going on in Trinidad at this time, that turnout could I show you how the people felt
okay
about the situation in Trinidad at the time.
Right. Okay.
So then,
are we talking about the period that was during Eric Williams' reign?
Say that again.
No, I was asking if that was during the period of Eric Williams, Dr. Eric Williams.
Of course.
Right.
That was and let me tell you
Eric.
something too. Electronians used to afraid to sing about that guy, you know. And you know, I mean, like I don't know. You know, like I took the chance. Sometimes you take a chance.
Right.
But I mean, you know, I was very serious. that was very serious because I mean, like, you're talking to some people, and you know you have people behind you too.
Right.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, that was my. I had people watching my back.
Okay. I got you. So Valley, let me just Val, before you come in. So the very first time as a little boy, in those days, there wasn't much television around, one or two, and was black and white. But we had our radio, and we would listen because Trinidad de Marchgras was a big thing, and everybody used to be close to the radio on Trinidad de Marchgras night. And the first time I heard about Valentino, Stay Up Zimbabwe. That was the very first time I heard about Brother Val. I was a young fella, little fella, but I heard Stay Up Zimbabwe, and that was it. You know, that calypso was, I mean, hey, you talk about Stay Up Zimbabwe.
I mean, that is when my contribution towards this struggle started to get wider then.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Not only in Trinidad or the Caribbean then. And what really motivated that song too, I composed that song in America.
Oh.
And the reason why, what motivated that too, because there was pamphlets all over America, pre-Mandela, and protests, you know, I mean, like, there was a heavy protest at the time. The people really wanted that change.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, Zimbabwe was still Southern Rhodesia.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you see the trend that thought, and I mean, like, I saw the big picture then.
Right.
Stay Up Zimbabwe, but Zimbabwe was not Zimbabwe yet, you know.
Yeah, it was Rhodesia.
Zimbabwe was still Southern
Rhodesia.
Yeah. Apartheid was a big thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was the mm-hmm. Ian Smith. Yeah.
Yes.
Ian Smith.
And Vodka had to go. Yes, the revolution. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah. So I mean that is how the mind starts to function as far as the struggle and black people issues are concerned.
Right.
And
international.
Since Godfrey mentioned Zimbabwe, I'll just make a little plug for my partner, who has passed on now, who played the very early guitar on that track, Barnett Romani.
Yes, Barney. Yeah. Romani,
you know?
Romani son. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my part. I know. I didn't even know Barney passed.
Yes, Barney gone.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we lost an ex-good soldier.
Very early.
Yeah. So Valley, Stay Up Zimbabwe, and we've had songs like Life Is a Stage, and I think these, to me, Stay Up Zimbabwe, Life Is a Stage, two Kaisos that has I don't know, once you hear Valentino, these are to me, these are the first two Kaisos that are going to come to mind. I mean, I am familiar with lots of your songs, but people who are not so much into Kaiso, and you hear Brother Valentino, I am almost certain, Stay Up Zimbabwe, Life Is a Stage, these songs would just jump at you, you know.
I mean, like, what I could say about these two songs, they all shadow all my other works that sometimes, you know, like, people, according to what you guys said, like they don't even hear the others, or they don't, you know. For instance, I have Valentino, and again, up to this present time, if I'm doing a show, I can't leave that stage without doing Life Is a Stage.
But of course not. You can't.
So then they just call me the people's calypso now. But I just say Life Is a Stage is the people's calypso.
Life is a stage. Right. But you've had some great calypsos. In fact, one of my favorite Valentino Kaiso is actually Ode to Women of the 21st Century, where Kaiso went. I mean, these are some great Kaisos. And of course, Birds That Fly High. I was about to mention that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good bit. Barking dogs, all these songs, coming on the line there.
Yeah, hark the dogs are back.
Dogs
Yeah.
bark, but somehow or the other, they have Zimbabwe, and life is as you just, make the others look, put them in the
I think, for example, with Step Zimbabwe, the period, that period in history, I mean, it was such a vibrant period.
Yeah.
And when you have a piece of work like that, it definitely is going to stand out. Going to definitely stand out.
And I had the privilege to sing that in Zimbabwe because I've been to Zimbabwe.
Fantastic, fantastic.
I've been to Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Fantastic. And
That's good.
And then of course, saga of the PRA. we are still in the month of the revolution in Grenada.
You see that song? That song. I mean, it's very dear to me. It's very personal. Because let's say I had a kind of experience in that whole struggle with the man himself, and all that goes with it. And it's very personal to me then. Because
right.
and the man was kind of,
right.
That on me. I don't want to
right. Yeah,
but,
definitely.
But it's right, the saga, the PR is very personal to me. And it could be very controversial to Grenadians.
It is.
Some
it is.
may
Yeah.
accept it and some may not want.
It is. Yeah, it is.
And that is why I never took the chance to sing that in Grenada because I don't want to offend anyone.
Right.
Grenada itself, I don't want to come in my hometown and
Yeah. Well, people, everyone, different people have different feelings on the whole thing. But the fact is, it is a part of our history that we cannot run away from. History is history. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It is.
Right. Yeah. And you see, sometimes the way the artists would comment on the issues and the commentary, it might, but the right comments on things, I mean, like, that's just me.
Right.
I'm very straightforward, straight to the point. You either love me or you hate me. I'm not compromising.
Right.
But I want to take you back. You were singing at the review. I don't know whether it was No Revolution or something, but I know that somehow maybe Eric Williams was coming to the tent the night and they did not want you to sing. What song you were singing there?
Let me tell you that. You see that?
Yeah.
I was singing No Revolution.
No Revolution, right.
And The Secret in the Palm of the Hand. That is the song I tell you. When I realized you were reaching that song, I decided not to sing a song like that again.
Yeah.
But it had a big controversy, if I give only the history about that.
Yeah. Tell us.
We want to hear it.
Let me go the history about that.
Yeah.
George Goddard was
President of Trinbago
at the time, right? No, around Kaiso season, these dignitaries, Goddard and them Prime Minister and the crew, it is a customary that they come in the tent.
Yeah.
Well, Williams and the crew come in the tent the night, bam, bam, bam. I hear management started grumble. Chargy Panton in Sunnywood Days, and they say, boy, and a man come and tell me, Barry, the man come here tonight and I don't feel he could sing that song. Telling already, guts fell through.
Right.
I don't feel he could sing that song. So the first part of the program now, instead of singing the song, I'm custom singing. Them people afraid Williams so much. They afraid that man so much that they didn't want to take that chance for me to sing that song in that time. The man singing right in the front seat. If I stretch my hands up, I could touch him because these dignitaries are right in the front seat. They put me to sing this stupid song, Secret in the Palm of the Hand. But in them time, Kaiso not like how it is now,
Right.
Kaiso used to be full with people, real supporters, So I sing that song, well, all right. Everything went cool first half. Second half now, I see a couple of people standing up under a tree. But I see like George Cordell and Kitchener and Chatty Panton and this guy, a man named Bona Williams, bodyguard with him, Ivan Williams.
Ivan, right.
That was Williams' bodyguard. I see that on, they talking and they this and that. He called one to find out why I ain't sing no revolution. So them discussing if I should sing it, yes or no. Well, the argument, well, I won't say the argument, the discussion reached a height where God had turned and tell Kitchener, he said, well, Kitchener, let me tell you something. If that boy sing that song in the night, I will make them silver men boycott you too. You see how far the thing is?
That's good.
Right.
Well, after a couple of times, I was Williams to look, let the boy sing the song. Because I was very young, so this still used to call me the boy.
Right.
Because I was young. Yeah. Well, that was, when I went up there, that was history. I had to tell her when because it commenced.
Right.
And the people waiting to hear that because they won't wait them to hear what telling them.
Right.
Because it was a direct, I won't say attack, but it was a direct contact.
You didn't want to
burn
in a stores in tongue. You had to sing a verse,
But of course.
All them burning a stores in tongue. People didn't want to know revolution. Dr. Williams, no. Yes, so come on, give us a verse. Give us a verse. Come on, let Grenada hear this song because a lot of people don't know it. Not even Godfrey.
I listen. I have.
Doctor, it's you who have power. I know when you act, it would have been a horse of a different color. You give them an inch, they take a whole yard, and when you had them under your clinch, people say you're bad. But when I heard you address the nation, I knew what was your intention. So some of the powers you exercise, unfortunately, I must criticize. We didn't want them trigger happy police. We only wanted to demonstrate in peace. Yet my people was held and charged for sedition. We was marching for equality, black unity, and black dignity. Dr. Williams, no, we didn't want no revolution.
No. I am familiar with it. In fact,
the voice. I don't know how. I mean, they still have not given you the crown, but I don't know how you could be the best poet of that 70s period and not be rewarded for it.
Well,
but that is Trinidad history.
That's Trinidad history. And when I realized the kind of victimization I get in that area, I stopped going up for that.
Right.
I just cut it out.
Right.
And I just decided to, rather know.
Hark the doctor back.
Okay, the beggars are coming to town. Beggars in rags, beggars in tags, beggars in their very
we have a caller on the line. Let's go to the telephone. We have a caller on the line. Let's see who is with us. Kaiso talk. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Well, I listening to you all and Valentino talking about his tune and them, but who tune I hear he talk about is the Caribbean-based initiative and it's smelling something. They make feller than smoking something. Them things is too good food I love from Valentino.
Okay. Well, let me see if I get able to sing 2 lines.
You're there, you could do what you want.
All right. Okay, no problem.
And welcome home, Valentino.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, Valley, the gentleman is welcome home. And he made reference to 2 Kaisos. Did you hear? The 2 Kaisos are the reference?
No, because I didn't get the phone.
Oh, you didn't get it. Yeah. He spoke about smelling something, and what was the other one? Look, it just left me there for a moment. Yeah, it's going to come back, but the Kaisos, and I do have an excellent collection of Valley's Kaiso, quite a bit, So let's take another caller. We have another caller on the line. Kaiso talk. Good evening.
Yeah, sitting here the next one. the Caribbean Basin Initiative. We
Right.
done with this basin plan in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yes. Okay, lovely. Yeah, the Caribbean Basin Initiative, that was the other one that he made reference to.
Yes. Yes. Your accents are so wicked. You make war in the Middle East. And when you're sending a man, Camp David, every year, talking peace. Like you come out of control, the whole of Georgia world. You feel you are still in the movies, like you stick up the West Indies. No return, no return. Rastafari not taking that one. Don't with your basin plan in the Caribbean.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah,
You know, excellent, excellent. I mean, and that's you know, it is said that, you know, when you if you want to remember things that happened before, listen to Kaiso.
That is what I deal with.
Listen to Kaiso.
Serious issues
Yes.
affect people.
Mm-hmm. Listen to Kaiso. Listen to Kaiso.
That is what my whole career is based upon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
So you won't find I'm being so regularly played over the air. Because the people don't want to hear that. They want to hear, you know,
Right.
you know. But the real
So,
message, you know.
Two things before I know we time will
Yeah,
catch
yes,
up on us,
yes.
but so let me make two statements. One is that our carnival just finished, right? And when carnival come and pass, the people just go back to the race and class.
So the
only thing
to bring them
people together is mass. Do you
look
still believe that statement? Is that statement still on point?
It's not relevant. It's not relevant.
No, yes.
More relevant than ever.
More than ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, one of the best for me melodies from you is "Band from the West."
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Band from the West.
Yeah.
You know.
So don't you respect the desperados when he gave us time and the West. Band from the West was the best. I hear you.
Yeah, man. Beautiful.
Yes. There is also the Awo, the New Revolution.
No. Say that again.
Awo.
Awo.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. You see, Awo. It's been played down in Africa. I mean, a band had recorded it. Dutch. And I mean, it's among the airplanes, and then in the pinball machines and things, they have a certain rhythm out of that music that they be playing it. So I'm in contact with these people, you know. Sometimes they send a little royalties, but you know these Africans.
Very good.
Right.
Simple.
Excellent.
They
Yes.
send something, and then a band performing it.
Right.
So it reached down in the motherland. And you know it's a high life, so it have a nice African beat.
Yes. No, it's a beautiful one.
Yeah, the rhythm, real African. Guts is the name of the band. If you tune into YouTube, Guts Valentino.
Right.
You'll check it out.
Definitely.
So, I mean, I've been rewarded, but I mean, you know, something better than nothing. Let me put it that way.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course.
The work is still there, and the work speaks for itself.
You know?
Definitely.
When you
yes.
Your body from years ago sang a song of yours, but it's only lately people got to know that it is your song. So let's not end before we touch on that. So tell us about that.
Well, you know, as a matter of fact, that body of mine is Conqueror.
Right.
Yeah, we was very, very close. As a matter of fact, Conqueror father had a gramophone. Not the gramophone that is played with.
Yes,
So I used to go by Conqueror and take a listen because, you know, to the music. And we became very close. And he was interested in Kaiso too. So we came that close that if Conqueror write Do Re Mi Fa So, we say, Valley hear this. I will do the same. And I wrote this Kaiso named Woman and Money. And I say, Conky, hear this song, you know, and you listen to it. He knows it inside out. But you know, sometimes your friend is ready to do your thing. Your friend is ready to do your thing, and let me tell you, your friend is doing your thing, you know. My man take my song, you got to like my song more than his song. Went by Still Taylor, audition for it, get selected to sing it in Still Taylor 10. About a week after, he went up by Telco with Frankie Francis and them on the record.
Yes.
And that was the enemy and that, you know.
Money they love, money they crave.
Next thing, they're mashing on the place. You understand? The only thing I get from that song is the rights for writing it because of the mechanic rights, you know. They have to know who write that song.
Right.
But all the performing and all the money in the tent and everything, you know. But I mean, like we say, you know, it's a friend that's your thing. Huh?
It's different.
I forgive him, man. That never changed. That never changed friendship.
That's.
And of course, just to end, that is when you were the mighty Robin.
That is when I was Robin. But let me go a little story about Robin now. You guys, you coming up with some nice information here. You're really playing it every day. I am the mighty Robin. I started to think I said mighty Robin. This fella who people knew as the mighty Robin, he was a young Sparrow. That
right.
I idolized Sparrow so much. He used to go down to the valley and clean Sparrow shoes and all.
Yeah?
So he said young Sparrow. Yeah. So we all meet up in the big bamboo tent in 1961. You know, a young fellas and thing. He's singing a song named I Knees under Young Sparrow. I singing a song named Schoolgirls under the mighty Robin. But sometimes fellas just have opportunities that you don't get. So he had an opportunity to record his song. You know that man went and recorded his song under the mighty Robin. and to add insult to injury now, I know you guys know about Young Creole. The song that I was singing in the tent that year, you know, Young Creole took it and recorded a song named Schoolgirls. You never hear Schoolgirls sing Schoolgirls? The Schoolgirls of nobody. They're looking for trouble in different ways. I mean, so at the end of the season, I end up with nothing.
Oh boy!
And so go on and name one. But you see, love conquers all, you know.
Yeah,
it does.
God bless.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Love for this art. Thanks to Bomber and Sparrow. Yeah. When I see Sparrow, I say hey Sparrow all the time. Man. But when the first time I see them, I see me, I convinced now that I have to be a Kaiso.
Right.
Bomber is the man who said give me that time because you know Bomber was a gay writer in them times.
Yes.
Yeah, and Bomber was a nice guy, so he was smooth and thing, nice. And then when he come down to Trinidad and I started saying, nah boy, that fella is something else. And those two guys is who really
inspired you. Right, right. Indeed.
Yeah. And Bomber is a real classical Kaiso, you know. Bomber is a classic. You know?
Bomber is fantastic.
Yes.
In fact, yes, indeed. In fact, I'll tell you this. He told me that Blakey's Kaiso about send them back. Bomber that finished right at Kaiso. Other song Blakey did about send them back. You know the Grenadians. Yeah. He get a bit in Grenadian Square. He go down to get his share. When you want to know who they are, tell them say box and then licks in the police van.
Licks in the police van.
Bomber was the man. Bomber was the man.
You know in them times, them Trini used to pick on me.
Oh yes.
Sometimes in a Trini community and you're hushing your mouth and you want to talk.
Because every Grenadian from Kayaku.
That's right. Yes.
This is Sparrow, man. Thanks to Sparrow. This is Sparrow.
That's the man.
This is Sparrow. This Sparrow, my brother. Yes.
That's
man. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Valley, Val, that's all. In fact, we've gone past the time. I wish we could go on, but Valley, we definitely want to have you back. To continue chatting and get some more of the stories. But that's all the time we have now, and we have to wrap. So Valley, let me give you at least a minute to any final words you want to say to the Grenadian people and everybody else listening.
Well, I know my good friend who's called Foxing down and the guy with Foxing, Carl.
But
Right, Carl.
yeah.
Yeah. That's my good friend, and his daughter
Maria. Yes.
Maria. August month.
Yeah.
Right.
40 years since the business was in existence.
Yeah.
So I got a message from her and whatnot, and I gave her my assurance that I would be in Grenada.
Okay.
That occasion.
Lovely.
So Grenadians, you can look out for me, God's willing, around that time.
You'll be here.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to come home, feed some lamb people.
Oh, definitely.
I'm mentioning that is ain't good.
Yeah.
I want to come home, feed some lamb.
The proper lambi. Nice. Okay, Valley, thank you. Val, anything in closing before we leave? Yeah.
Tell the Grenadians, I say stay up.
They're hearing you. Val, your last words?
Well, no last word. You have Valentino here, and I think that the way I hear Calypso and respond to it is directly related to Valentino Calypsos of the 70s. For me, he was the voice of that movement.
Indeed.
And because of my age and my connection with 70, he definitely stands out for me. So it's always a pleasure to interact with Valentino.
Yes, I want to give you guys just one message. I'm the holder of the Hummingbird gold medal.
Oh, fantastic! Congratulations indeed.
Yes, I'm a holder of the Hummingbird gold medal. So the works, at least the works didn't go in vain after all.
No, definitely.
It was recognized by the people who were supposed to recognize it.
Yes, indeed.
Definitely.
So, gentlemen, thank you all.
The only other thing we have to do is to talk to either UWI or UTT to make sure that you get some other accolades before your time to transition.
Of course, indeed.
I really welcome your thoughts.
Definitely. We'll do that. We have to do that.
Appreciate that.
Yes, indeed.
I'm speaking to you. Certainly going to put something in place to make that happen.
All right. So thank you guys very much. Valley.
We have a young Prime Minister.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we do hope.
Yes, indeed. All right, guys, thank you so very much. That's all the time we have, folks. Thank you. Join us next Wednesday, same time, 8:30 for another Kaiso Talk. All the best. To have a good night.